Welcome back to the Yins Betcha podcast. We are in the time of year. We're so busy. It feels, and it's not even work related. It's just we're just busy with football, and it's everywhere. It's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm a little under the weather. We're still. I started feeling. Yeah, at this point, it's the 31st. I started feeling sick on Christmas Day. It's never fun to be sick around the holidays, but we're powering through and. We missed some NFL, but we'll get into all of it. We'll at least for what we picked in 2 weeks ago, and we'll get to all of it. Anyways, but we're gonna first. We'll go through the college. We'll recap that, and then we'll go through some more picks for the bowl games. We'll pick for the playoffs again, and then we'll talk about some NFL at the end, just to kind of recap what we picked from the last episode. So. How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing good.
Good?
I'm doing good. Yep. Obviously, I was the one battling the sickness a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Maybe I gave it to you. I don't know.
No.
It lasts a while. Like I'm still not 100%, but it's a lot better than I think you are. So
Yeah.
Thanks for powering through.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm just glad we didn't we were supposed to do it on the 26th,
I think.
And I rolled over and died. So I'm glad we made this work out. So thank you. This is great. So okay, cool. So we can go ahead and jump in. So we want to start with Indiana, Notre Dame, right?
Indiana, Notre Dame. We'll start with the playoffs.
Yeah. What an interesting first round. The committee's gonna have a field day next year, I think, or at least changing some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to overreact after 1 year. But I think the lesson learned, at least again, a 1 year snapshot is I think we jumped too far, too quick.
Yeah.
I've always said that anyway. That 8. I thought 8 was always the magic number, only because I don't think you can say with a straight face. And we talked about this before the playoffs. When I said, okay, it was a nice story that SMU got in over Alabama, but if Alabama's playing SMU, who's winning?
Alabama.
To me, that should be the question that's kind of answered. And I know you don't want to think in hypotheticals, but that's what we're doing. And if you want truly the 12 best teams, then let's get the 12 best teams there.
Exactly.
And we didn't. So and that showed. Every home team won. Mm-hmm. They all won comfortably. So I think this is where we should be anyway. Is at 8.
This is right here.
And you're gonna see a couple more blowouts. I think Arizona State's no match for Texas.
That's what I think. Yeah.
I do think Boise's gonna be sneaky good against Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll find out what happens there. But I think at the end of the day, 8's the number. Really, everybody that didn't like the 14 playoff, I want you to understand is this try to think to yourself right now who legitimately can win the national championship.
Right.
How many teams do you come up with? Because I only have 3.
I have 3, probably 3.
And maybe I'm shortcutting Georgia because of the quarterback question mark.
Yeah.
But technically, that kid played good against Texas in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got a couple weeks to prepare. So I'll be interested to see how they perform against Notre Dame. But
yeah,
you could argue that Georgia's maybe the 4th team. But even still, we're only at 4.
Yeah, right, right.
I mean, I think it's Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, maybe Georgia.
That's
to me, it's going to be one of those teams to win the national championship.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, then I'll admit it on the air and say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of those other teams. There might be an upset that we see today or tomorrow, but I don't think anybody's going to collectively like a Boise. They're not going to win 3 or 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
In this tournament.
It's another interesting point too. Is do you think Ohio State would have made it in if there was only 4 teams? Especially with the way that their track went, they have no Big Ten. Probably they lose to Michigan, but and they lost to Oregon,
which is why I'm good with 8.
Right.
I think you should reward winning a conference, no matter how bad the conference is.
Yeah.
Because look at the ACC and bowl games right now. They're 1-9.
Yeah.
1-9. The American right now is 5-1. So right. Maybe Army should have been it for winning the American. So that's my argument. If you want to do it, that's fine. I don't like the automatic bye because again, eye test, is Boise a 3? Is Arizona State a 4?
Yeah,
really. And maybe again, if they win, if Boise beats Penn State and Arizona State beats Texas, great.
Yeah,
then they earned it. But and again, it got proven in the very first game. I was already going, oh, here we go, like, and Signetti running his mouth, and that's the thing. Like, you had two teams that were kind of Cinderellas, Indiana and SMU.
Yeah.
Both their coaches mouthy as shit. Oh, we should be in, we should be higher, blah blah blah.
Right.
And they both completely laid an egg.
Didn't do anything. Yeah.
As much as I wanted the Big Ten to win, I hate Notre Dame. So, like, I wanted Indiana to win.
Right.
But there was some kind of vindication seeing Signetti do that. And I bought in. Like, I originally was like, yeah, Notre Dame's going to beat them, no problem.
Yeah,
And literally the day before the game, or the day of the game, whatever day we were on, I went against it.
Yeah.
Because I started, okay, I'm going to believe it. And
right.
Like, they're going to do this,
Yeah.
And then obviously the only other game I missed, I picked with my heart, not my brain. So
right.
And I'm not going to do that this time. So
you'll be ready to go. Yeah.
I'll be ready to
go.
go. Except the Michigan. I'm picking Michigan.
Yeah, right. Right.
So, but yeah, Indiana and Notre Dame, I mean, I don't know what you want to talk. Really, all four of these playoff games, I don't have a lot to recap.
Yeah.
Like, the team that won kicked their ass.
Yeah, so, no, especially these bowl games, this might be maybe a little bit of an earlier show. On it like a little bit, but I don't have much to go off. Like, I watch these games, but it's going to be.
And I didn't take any notes. I kept saying I'm going to start taking notes. I did the last time. I took no notes, zero from any of these games. So I'm going to go off of memory of a lot of these. But yeah, I mean, they were all four. I don't want to overreact. I overreacted with the MLB playoffs, saying this is not fair to these higher seeds waiting 5 days. And that proved itself true the first 2 years, but it did not this year. So, maybe I need a larger sample size, I guess.
Sure.
But it's not a good start. And I think if the scenarios are similar next year, you're going to see a change.
Yeah.
They are not going to leave a 3-loss Alabama team or a 3-loss SEC team, for that matter.
That's what
over a team that did not beat a top 25 team.
Right.
And that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that they're going to let in. I think they'll even. I could especially the way Tennessee, like, they kind of were finding it against Ohio State, but they also weren't. And Ohio State could have did anything they wanted to against them. I just think, like, if it was like, I could even see like a 4-loss Alabama. Like, it's not going to ever be. I don't think 4 losses, but it's getting to the point. Like, and it's already, like you said. I think they went in too far to start, and now. I don't think they can ever make it. Like, you can make it more. I don't think you could ever make it less now, in my opinion. I don't think you can.
No.
I don't think
it's going to be hard to go down.
Right.
Unless they all, if every first round ends up being, shit. But it won't. I mean, I think you're going to eventually, again, I think if you change some of these teams.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, they did was they placated to the game matchups that they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to seed them properly. And if it falls that Indiana would have had to play Penn State in the Big Ten, like, whatever. If it's a conference matchup, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know what I mean? That's just the way the seedings go.
I mean, that would be awesome. I think it's electric, too. Like, to have an actual, like, just the same conference team playing again. Like, just, I think it's great. Especially proving themselves in the playoffs for your playoffs that you've made. So, but, Notre Dame ends up winning 27-17. It looked pretty the entire way. The first half it was all Notre Dame, and it just kept going. I think Indiana was just too late at it, but I don't have much else. Like you said, Signetti talking and supposed to be there, and just doesn't feel that way.
Yeah. You truly had 2 big games this year, and you sucked in both of them.
And you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They had a favorable schedule.
Barely beat Michigan, too,
right? Which we should have won that game.
And they were at home for that one. So, SMU Penn State. Obviously, I had my brother over for that.
Nice.
Man, the pick sixes to start that game. It was
no
offense from Penn State in the first quarter. That scared me, and I was like, man, SMU. It was such an eerily similar start that they had against Clemson.
Yeah.
Just a terrible first quarter. Couldn't get out of their own way. So you wonder if that plays out differently, what happens there. But as I suspected, they didn't have any. The pass rush from Penn State, they couldn't control it.
No.
I'm going to tap the brakes on Penn State because, again, it's a good win. SMU was ranked all year. But I'm still doubtful on how good a team they are. Again, they had a good bracket. I mean, like...
They had the best, yeah.
I'm going to jump ahead. I'm going to pick Boise. But I'm hesitant about it. I just feel like the vibes of Fiesta Bowl, whatever.
Right.
I feel like they're going to get up for this game. and it's a winnable matchup for Boise. I just don't think they're going to go past that.
Yeah.
But I think they get in the semifinals. But good statement win at home again. They got the crowd going, the whiteout.
Yeah. I think this Penn State. I was watching like all three of these games, which we'll get to all of them. But like the offensive line for all the teams all day, all I saw was just the best run blocking, pass blocking. Like especially in the Texas Clemson game, that offensive line for Texas is gross. Like they don't let anything happen. I mean, I know Clemson can score and they did, but like Texas, they're good. Like the score was not showing that. But Penn State, all in all, their defense is great.
They are.
They're great. And I know they didn't win against Ohio State. And I know that and frankly, he doesn't win the big games, but he won this one. And if he wins Boise, I know it's not like the best of teams right now. Like they're a good team. Yeah. But the momentum is crazy. It can be crazy. Yeah. Like, and
matchup wise, Georgia Notre Dame would be a good matchup no matter which one they get. So that's what I mean. Like when the brackets came out, I'm like, wow, like they've got a shot,
right?
And if this was Michigan, this would have been the bracket I would have wanted.
Yeah, and if Penn State plays, if they can play anywhere near as good as they played Oregon, like they were able to score on Oregon, and if they had just an ounce more of defense that night, I think they could have even done it. So like when you're talking about Georgia, and if they win this Notre Dame game, they go and play Penn State, which I have. It's going to be so interesting to see how the new quarterback does, especially in the Notre Dame game. That's going to be a big test for him already. And then to play the Penn State team, who has a great defense, and people just I feel like are overlooking him. So it's going to be very interesting. But Drew, he's.
And if we had Kendall on here, Kendall will tell you
Penn State's the whole way. Which is crazy. Yeah,
she did go 4-0 in our playoff picks. When we're done with the bowl recap here, we'll give our updated standings. We did a little family challenge, I guess.
Yeah.
And she's holding her own in that.
That's awesome.
I'll have to get her back on the air here.
Yeah.
Anything else from SMU Penn State?
No, if Drew Aller can throw any I feel like I think you said that Boise has a winnable, like they can win that game, but I feel like if Drew Aller if he can throw the ball better than he has, or it just production wise, if he can do anything better, they could go all the way. I could see it. They have the favorable, like you said. So that's all I'll say. Penn State is scary to me. So we'll see.
So Clemson, Texas. This game scared me for a little while. Obviously, this was actually my lock of the week. Was Texas giving up 12, which I did cover it, but it was nerve wracking for quite a while there. Clemson did kind of punch them in the mouth a little bit to start the game. Texas took control. As you said, their offensive line held up really well. Yeah. Ewers is batting some kind of ankle injury. He says it's fine. It's been hurt since late November. But the reality is, I mean, they've got two quarterbacks. So even if something happens to him, I have faith in Arch Manning jumping in there anyway. So
sure.
And I like their matchup, this week coming up with or tomorrow, I guess. With Arizona State.
I do too. I love it. I don't think that's I think Texas, that's another winnable game, and they have another favorable schedule, if I could say so myself. I mean, the next one they play.
At least to start out,
At least to start out, they have to go
either Ohio State or Oregon, which it's going to get tough in the second.
We'll see how their defense holds up there, because Clemson was able to do what they wanted to do. But I think Texas's offense is just so much more powerful than their defense, so that tells everyone that. But the offensive line held up. Hopefully, I don't know. This is so interesting, though. I know it's maybe too far-fetched, like they jumped into it too far, like for 12 teams, but it's so interesting, like going forward. It's going to be really cool to see, so the way it pans out.
Then the nightcap, this was your underdog of the week. Oops.
Yeah.
Then obviously I picked with my heart, not my brain, and thought maybe, Tennessee is, similarly built to Michigan. I thought, and again, we talked about if Day would have called different, I guess maybe Chip Kelly, whoever you want to blame it on.
Yeah.
They called different plays. Ohio State beats Michigan.
And he did.
They throw the ball more.
Yeah.
He was he wanted to prove that they're such a physical team and that they can win a certain way.
Yeah.
That he was stubborn about it and was like, this is how I'm going to win. And then he didn't win. So, if you're a finesse team, you're a finesse team. Like, just fucking embrace it.
Right.
You legit can win the national championship
freaking don't do
just
it.
Win the game.
Yeah.
Like, who cares how you win it?
Right.
I would never care if people claimed I was soft if I'm beating your ass.
No.
So
yeah.
So they did. They went. They had a game plan that they should have had against us, and it worked wonderfully. So they look like a wagon.
Yeah, they do.
Which is what I'm afraid of.
Yeah,
so,
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the fans. I don't want to hear. I've already heard enough of it. Like, if they can win the whole thing, I get it. But yeah.
How about Herb? Did you hear Herb Street's comments? The lunatic fringe.
Oh, I did.
That was
hilarious. Yeah,
it's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the number at like 20%. That seems low. At least, I mean, just from people I know.
Right.
It's more like 60 to 70%. I ran into a buddy at Home Depot a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one I talked to that agreed with me.
Yeah.
It was like, that's like, embrace who you are. I don't like. He couldn't believe the interviews that was before the Ohio State-Michigan game.
Yeah.
What would you rather do? Win the national championship or win this game today? And everybody was answering, I want to win today.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy to me.
Insane.
I mean, like look at the Vikings-Lions coming up, right?
Yeah.
Battling for the number 1 seed. If you ask me right now, like, you're going to lose that game and lose the number 1 seed, but you're going to win the Super Bowl. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit if the Lions sweep us. I just want to win.
You want to win, yeah.
So
it's
just, and I don't feel that way, and really most of the NFL is not that way. But there seems to be some kind of cloud over that city that they're so obsessed with what Michigan's doing.
Well, like, so I said the same thing though, but it was for this year, and we already had 5 losses. Like, so there was a time when I'm like, I don't even care what happens. I don't want to win a bowl game. I just want to beat you.
Yeah.
So that's this year for me.
That's when it gets to that point. 100%. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But again, if the roles were reversed, and Michigan's got 1 loss, no losses, whatever it is, and we're bound with a playoff, knowing that even if we lose this game, we're still going to the playoff. I'm a bigger picture guy at that point. It's once your season's gone that it becomes where it should change.
Right.
For sure. Sorry, I'm losing my voice.
It's we're both not great. We're both not.
No,
100%.
But yeah, I think it's just crazy to me. It makes it laughable.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, again, if they win it all, I think most of it will be forgiven.
Right.
But I took receipts on who was trying to get Day out of the fucking door after that 4th loss.
Dude,
he wins the national championship. How does that not vindicate him?
Right.
Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't. Again, Harbaugh was 0-5.
I said it on this show. Like, you have to ride it. Like, I literally said it on the show. I said it to you. I said it to a bunch of people back then. Like, if it wasn't Jim Harbaugh, then who? And it might be Ryan Day. If it's not Ryan Day, then who?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of big names out there. But I don't know. Yeah, I might have to just ride it out. And if they win this whole thing, like, no problem. He's staying. Yeah. So, especially the way they beat Tennessee. Yeah.
So we'll recap or we'll preview the playoff matchups after we recap the rest of the bowl games.
Yeah.
We'll probably fly through a lot of these. Again, I didn't take any notes. I'll try to come up with some memory from some of the games.
I'll try to.
And I watched pretty much all of these except for this past Saturday's games. I was out in Ann Arbor and really had to watch a lot of these or check out the scores on most of them. There's a lot of games going on Saturday.
Yeah.
The one takeaway though of all the bowl games I've watched is the chippiness in a lot of them. There's been a lot of fights, brawls, like mini brawls. I wouldn't call them full-fledged, except the East Carolina game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That was
crazy.
That was crazy.
So, but yeah, that's the one takeaway I have is it is really, a lot of players are opting out of it. I get it. That's fine. I don't. You got to think about your future, and it is what it is. Some of these bowl games, what does it really matter?
Yeah.
But you can see where it matters to players that are getting a chance, freshmen, what have you, that are getting this opportunity to shine. And if you're fans of these teams, it gives you something to look forward to. And that's what I'm excited about with Michigan today. I'm hoping to see some guys that we haven't seen all year.
Yeah.
Maybe give us a little bit of a taste of what we got coming next year. It scares me that Bama's playing everybody, so I mean it could get ugly, but it is what it is. So.
Did you see I kind of wanted to talk about that too for just a second. I know we'll get to Michigan, but did you see Davis Moore might stay again?
Yeah, I did see
for another year.
Yeah, I don't
know how I feel about it.
With bringing in Mikey Keene,
I want him to play. I want him to start.
Keen,
yeah.
So do I. At least to start the year.
Yeah, right.
But
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, he's never lit it up. You know, I mean, yeah, he won the Ohio State game, but it wasn't on his arm. So
no.
What did he throw for 60 yards?
Yeah, literally.
So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, that's the only takeaway I have is just like you can see the effort from players that don't get that opportunity very often.
Yeah.
And then the chippiness of some of these bowl games.
Man, they were
have made that part of it interesting.
Yeah.
There's been some decent games in there. So first one, Texas San Antonio, Coastal Carolina, UTSA won that 44-15. I don't remember that game, so
me either.
I don't have
I did
much
pick UTSA, so that was cool.
Yes, yeah.
What? I'll pull up scores though at least.
I actually have them written down.
Oh, you do? Cool. All right, cool.
So we're good.
Oh, you did say that. Sorry.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. So yeah, I picked UTSA as well. So
okay.
Did you?
Yeah.
The next one was famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Good game here. I did watch this one.
Yeah.
Northern Illinois won this game in 2 overtimes, 28-20. Again, I wish I would have taken some notes. I took Fresno. I believe you took Northern Illinois, right?
I did take Northern Illinois. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like there was some missed opportunities from Fresno in this game.
Yeah.
Another situation where Keene didn't play. Or,
right.
Again,
he's transferring.
A lot of this information we didn't have when we made picks.
Yeah.
I probably would have changed them had I known it, but sometimes you just got to go with your gut. That's what I'm doing. So
yeah.
And then the Hawaii Bowl, man, that game.
That was fun.
Christmas Eve. I recorded it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tradition. I watched the second half in the morning. So this one took a while to watch. It was like a 4.5 hour, 5 hour game or something. So South Florida won. I had picked San Jose.
I picked San Jose too.
5 overtime games, you can always think, man, they should have done this, they should have done that.
Right.
You know? I believe this might have been a situation where I was surprised. I should have wrote notes. I know there was some games in there where I think it was Toledo Pitt.
Yeah.
Why aren't you going for 2 at the end of the game?
That was such a great game. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah.
So yeah, again, this was another situation. I think there was a lot of players that hadn't played all year on both sides in this game. So, and then so we had 3 straight overtime games in bowl games. We had the Potato Bowl went double, Hawaii Bowl went 5, and then
Game Above Bowl.
Top that was 6.
6
overtimes. This was a crazy game.
Yeah.
Narduzzi, what a fucking blowout.
I know.
Walks off the field without shaking.
He's just.
Well, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
He just gives me more and more.
He's like right. I was just gonna say that. He keeps giving you ammo to just keep hating him, and it's just.
And this is why I picked this. And Toledo was my underdog of the week.
Right.
So they not only covered, they won.
Yeah.
Outright.
Huge.
So max points there. I had a good feeling about it. I mean, it was damn near a home game for them. It's a 40-minute drive to Detroit.
Yeah. I was like on the other side of that. Like I thought Pitt needed to win. Like Pitt, especially for
6-game losing streak.
Yeah.
It started out 7-0.
Damn. That's why. I was on the other side of it. Like I just, especially when it go into 6 overtimes, I thought like, okay, we're gonna be fine. Pitt's gonna win this game in one of these overtimes.
Yep.
And then it just becomes that shootout and the overtime rules, and I just don't know how I feel about it right now. Especially going into 6. Feels like it's just like like hockey, like you go into it and it's just one-on-one, so interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, both teams had some opportunities at the end, a regulation there. I don't know why they didn't go for 2.
Huge for Toledo, though. I mean, huge win. That's huge for the program, and going to be interesting to see how they can keep going for sure.
Yep. And again, I don't know why more teams don't go for 2 after the first overtime, during the first overtime.
Yeah.
When they match a touchdown, because you have to do it in the second, and then if you get to the third, all it is.
Yeah.
So you've got that opportunity to be the first one to do it and put the game away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. I never will. Especially that's the way that it is.
The way it's going. Yeah.
I would almost all the time probably go for 2.
Pick 2. Yeah.
If I'm scoring second, it's just what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So the Rate Bowl. So I had my parlay. I kept talking about this, that every time that
there's always one.
There's a streak, right? Like, or again, if I would have picked the money line on the conference championships when I was 9-0, can you imagine what that payout is? So this was one of those times where you got on me because that 3-game slate I went with the 7-point underdog, and all 3 of them went outright. So I got to thinking, man, that's going to be a nice payday if I bet them all 3 money line. So I did. And Rutgers had a 17-point lead.
Yeah.
And I was obviously sweating out the Toledo game. If it wins that, I'm out anyway. But once I won that, and Rutgers was up, I was already looking up what's the cash out, because I was actually most scared of Arkansas State, because I knew they weren't playing everybody.
Oh, right.
So, and Bowling Green had their 4-year quarterback, and I'm like, man.
Yeah.
And
I took them. I had Bowling Green.
Yeah, I took Arkansas. But they were 9. That line went up to 9.5, and I'm like, shit, I should probably cash out if Rutgers wins.
If Rutgers wins,
so I'm looking it up, and I see the cash out got locked out when Rutgers was up 17. Oh. And then it did go down when they were only up by like 10. It gave me a chance to do it, and it just wasn't as much as I would have liked.
Yeah.
It was like $90 or something.
Oh.
And my payout for the money line on a $5 bet was $385 for all 3 to win on the money line. So I gave Rutgers Rob a hard time.
Yeah.
The next morning. Because I had to record it. Once I lost that game, I didn't stay up.
Right.
So I recorded the Arkansas State game, watched it in the morning, and of course they won. So I'm like, mother. So yeah. So 44-41 Kansas State. They couldn't stop their running back. I apologize, I don't remember his name, but he ran all over them.
Yeah.
I've never. If you would have told me that Rutgers would have scored 41, I would have 100% said yeah, they're winning that game.
Yeah.
They're just not a team that I would ever feel like would give up 44. So. It was a little bit of a crazy game, a little shootout.
Yeah.
So that one cost me. So it pissed me off. Arkansas State, as we mentioned, beat Bowling Green 38-31. That was another good game. Butch Jones is a good coach, which is one reason I picked him. Again, I didn't know a lot about him in the offseason, or during the season. And again, Bowling Green had a good quarterback, threw for over 12,000 yards. He's only the 80th quarterback ever to do that.
Damn. Yeah.
In a career. So. Again, don't remember his name.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of that recaps up to where we were supposed to broadcast on the 26th.
Yeah.
The Armed Forces Bowl, fucking Choklahoma, man. They're my second team. I love the root for them, but
at the end,
they just find ways to lose games like this.
Oh.
Love the call though. Love the call to go for 2.
Yeah, me
game,
too.
Which is what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
As a coach, you might as well. I mean.
Yeah.
They all the momentum was lost for them. They jumped out to a 14-0 lead.
I thought Oklahoma had in the bag.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to blow them out.
Yeah, really.
They really did. Yeah.
Like I thought Navy just didn't look. I knew they didn't have the team to do it, but I feel like they just believed in themselves more than Oklahoma did. To be honest with you, like it's just one of those situations. Yeah.
But man, Navy.
I know.
Two of my favorite teams in the past couple of weeks.
And now Navy.
Army knocking off Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Michigan ain't playing them.
Yeah, really.
They probably would beat Michigan.
Yeah.
Birmingham Bowl, Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt. I went with Tech.
Vandy, yeah.
And they even had King playing in this game, and still couldn't pull it off. Vanderbilt gets a nice win, 35-27. I believe you picked Vandy in this game, right?
I was still, I did. I had Vandy, but I was still nervous about Hans. I thought if he played, that was the deciding factor, and I'm glad I still went with Vanderbilt, so that was good. I may have been underneath a lot of cough medicine, too. I don't know. Maybe I've been loopy as hell, so I don't.
And just to back up, Kansas State was your lock of the game at -7. So you got the win, but did not get the cover.
Yeah.
So I maxed out on the college points with 8. You got 1, and then we'll recap the NFL.
For the week we did.
Get to that and show you what the overall standings are.
Yeah.
For that, and then who we got in the next game? Liberty Bowl, Arkansas, Texas Tech.
I had Arkansas.
This is another game that had some chippiness to it. There's a video that went viral of one of the Arkansas linemen that stepped on a player's ankle, and I don't know if he broke it.
Oh, it looked bad.
Yeah, and it's funny because people were like calling him out, like have his profile up, like saying, get this guy out.
Oh God.
Football.
Yeah.
And there's no place for it. I don't get it. Like the chippiness and the pushing and shoving when you're in a battle, that's one thing. But when a guy's literally laying on the ground and you're a 350-pound offensive lineman, you can't fucking smash his ankle with cleats. Like, come on.
It's just nowhere near for that. No, it doesn't. It's not needed, not wanted. Yeah. So.
So that definitely takes away from their win there.
Yeah.
And they looked impressive. Their offense, I mean, was explosive. The first half was awesome to see. I picked Texas Tech, but yeah, Arkansas looked like a wagon in that first half.
Yeah.
With their offense. The Holiday Bowl, boy, Ohio State, like Kyle McCord's not a bad quarterback, man. You guys ran him out of town. Dude can play.
Should have been there this year. Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's got less to work with than when he went at Ohio State. I think if you'd have gave him another year, you guys would probably be in the same situation. Probably would have beat Michigan.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Maybe you're better off. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Syracuse laid it on Washington State. Stayed close for a while. They had that block punt in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this was like, I remember I called you to get your picks since we weren't going to be on
the
air.
Yeah.
And you were like,
Syracuse by a million. A million.
Yeah.
I love that.
They did cover. They did cover.
They did, yeah.
But I'm sure the first half you were a little
There was times, yeah. I was like, what are we doing? Like, why is this even a game right now? But yeah, I that was the game I loved the most, and it was Syracuse. And yeah.
Well, they're an interesting team. They had a very close loss to, I believe it was Boston College. When Castellanos was still playing, and the pick game. I mean, of course, there's 3 pick sixes in that game, and they still come back and only lost by like I think 10 or 11. So I think if they would have loved to have that game back. They could have been up there. I mean, they should have been playing for the ACC title. Yeah, with those two, and who knows? They could have been in the playoffs.
Bill O'Brien's got Boston College. Dude, they're gonna be good. I think they're gonna be just fine over there for sure. They already had some games this year, but they could have won easily. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Las Vegas Bowl. So USC starts their year and ends their year with a late touchdown to win the game.
Yeah,
they opened up the season against LSU at Reliant Stadium and scored with, I believe, the same amount of time left. I can't remember what it was. 8 seconds, 12 seconds.
Yeah,
like that. It was the same exact time left.
That's what they had for the first game.
They bookended their years with it. Disappointing here. I had A&M.
I did too. Yeah.
So disappointing loss to end the year for them. But I think they'll be fine. They got a good class coming in. So we'll see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln Riley still made some questionable decisions with clock management in it. I think he's a great quarterback whisperer, but I've always wondered about his game management.
His ability. Yeah.
But he pulled out a win here, so good for them to finish over 500 for the year. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl. I listened to this on the way to Saturday. UConn destroyed them. I don't know why I picked North Carolina.
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot about UConn either. So Jim Moore's done a good job of kind of turning that program around. They've been notoriously bad for a while.
Yeah.
And they sounded impressive. I didn't see it. But I did listen to
it. The North Carolina is so stripped right now. They're down to the core. They have nothing.
They have nothing.
And it's. I'm glad I had a UConn here, but it's going to be interesting to see how Bill Belichick can build him back up.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that's what they're looking forward to. So,
yeah,
going to be interesting.
Pinstripe Bowl. I got to see the tail end of this game. Nebraska 120-15. Mm-hmm. I had actually picked Boston College. Again, I knew Castellanos probably wasn't playing. Yeah, but I just liked where Bill O'Brien was going with the program this year. Matt Rule's another coach that's on the fence with me.
Yeah.
Just personality-wise, I'm not a fan of him. But Boston College had a nice block punt to kind of stay in it. They needed to stop. When Nebraska went for it on 4th down at the end of the game on Boston College's territory, but that's what iced the game there. If BC could have got a stop there, it might have been an interesting finish.
Uh-huh.
I believe you went the other way on this. There's some separation in the total picture. You're up on 4 games on it. So I remember this is one of them that I lost to you. So
had Nebraska.
You pretty much picked like Big Ten, I think, all the way through.
Yeah, I think I did, which was by making sure I did.
Except for, I know you had Kansas State.
Yeah, that's the only one. I think the only one so far. Probably will take Michigan today, but another good Big Ten. That's what I root for too. So it's good. Yeah.
TCU blew out Louisiana. I think that was like a no surprise there. I think if you were doing a confidence poll, TCU would have been a pretty high pick.
Yeah.
I did not watch a single snap of this game. So TCU won that one 34-3. The Pop-Tarts Bowl, I'm sad to have missed most of this.
I
did not know until after the game that Cam Ward only played the first half. He set the record.
Yeah.
Then came out.
Then came out.
I get it. Like good for him for even playing.
Yeah.
And if you're chasing the record, I got no problem with that. Like, you're in the fucking Pop-Tarts Bowl. So, like, if you're going for an individual accolade, great, whatever.
Right.
It's not like you're a playoff team. I'm sure it would have been a different story if he was. I'm sure he still would have broken the record had he been a playoff team too. But yeah, Iowa State pulls it out 42-41. So yeah, sad to miss it. Looked like an entertaining game. A lot of back and forth. Ton of scoring.
Yeah.
With 9 minutes to go in half, it was 28-28.
Yeah, like it was over all day. Yeah, it was crazy.
So that's probably the only thing that you can say. If Cam Ward doesn't come out of that game, I think Miami wins.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would have been easy enough. And Iowa State has no defense. Yeah. Well, I mean, and Miami's offense was always good all year, but just couldn't have the defense to back it up. So, yeah.
Yep. What do you think of the trophy? It's kind of cool to.
I do. I like that bowl game. It's a great bowl game. When they
an actual toaster.
Toaster.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. We tuned into the very end of this just to see Snoop Dogg
present
the trophy. I went with Colorado State. I lived in Fort Collins for a while, so I kind of picked with my heart a little bit there, but I didn't know a ton about Miami of Ohio. But they finished the year very well. Definitely the class of the MAC.
Yeah.
And they proved it blowing out Colorado State 43-17.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Colorado State too. I didn't know much of this game. I took it because I think Colorado State. I thought, like, Miami of Ohio, they took the loss to the Bobcats, right, in the MAC championship?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So coming off that, I probably should have taken it the other way, but still took Colorado State.
Yeah, my apologies. Ohio was the class of the MAC. They had the win in the Cure Bowl. So,
yeah.
I apologize. The Go Bowling Military Bowl. I did pick East Carolina. This is one of those.
Man.
NC State doesn't like to schedule them, so I'm like, okay, this is East Carolina's opportunity to do it. They've done it. And I did find out, I did not know, they are playing each other next year.
Oh, they are.
And so the way that game ended, that's going to be some must-see TV.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it'll be on the CW or somewhere. You'll be able to find that game.
Yeah.
But the ref, I mean, did you see that? Like,
dude, he was freaking cut. Yeah, like it.
And I knew it had to be something with a helmet.
Yeah.
And then the clip came out that I believe it was an East Carolina player that pushed an NC State player, and it kind of.
I was trying to look through the ruffle of that when it was going on. I watched the video of it, and I just was trying to see where it was. Just so many players all at once, and it's like one of those ones that you don't want to see and all that stuff. But yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
When I saw his cut, it was freaking like he was looking down. Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, we happened to have that on in the hotel there, so that was kind of crazy ending to see. But the Alamo Bowl, man, Colorado, very disappointing.
I took 4 straight losses right there, and especially the way this grid's set up. I took 4 straight losses in Colorado, man.
Yeah, I went 4-4 on Saturday. I actually did have Iowa State winning. I had East Carolina winning, but then I had Colorado State. I had Boston College. I had Colorado. Well, actually, I think I went 5-3. I had Army as well. But yeah, I didn't watch a ton of this because I was locked in on the East Carolina game. And by the time that game was over, BYU was already up 20-0 or 17-0.
Yeah.
About to make it 20-0. So then the Army game started. So I went away from it because I'm like, man, they're just not playing well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And Army did very well, which I suspected. It was kind of a bummer that Marshall had the turnover that they did with the coach leaving, that they had to cancel being in there. So Louisiana Tech was no match for Army at all. Army wins that one 27-6.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a better matchup with Marshall. If everybody was there.
Yeah.
Marshall was a sneaky good team. But yeah, so Army wins that. And then the last one was the Music City Bowl yesterday.
Oh, God,
I picked Iowa as well.
Yeah, so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you always know with Iowa you're not going to get a ton of offense. The kick return was awesome. It's the best kick return in the country by far.
Well, I mean, that kick for Missouri, he hit it from 55. And I was like, Ohio State's going to call him, like, tomorrow, like, today. I felt like he's just Ohio State kicker now. But anyways, yeah, it was a great kick for them. Missouri needed that, and I think that's what catapulted them. That even though they were only up by 3, I think it gave them everything else they needed. So,
yep.
But yeah.
All right. Anything else from the bowl games? Otherwise, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll preview the upcoming bowl games that are today, and then go into the playoff picks as well.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, we're back. We're going to start the preview of the next bowl games. We'll just preview it all the way out.
Yep. Preview it out.
Yeah. We'll go through Saturday, but then of course we'll come back on and talk about the playoffs in the near future of all these episodes. So,
do you want to go through the bowl games first and then do the playoff?
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Yeah. First one, Bama, Michigan. Big one for us today. I now see it Alabama minus 16.5. It was at 14 when I saw it yesterday, actually. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting.
I really actually do like the points. I think
I do too.
I
think we can cover. Hopefully,
competitive.
Defensive wise, maybe. Hopefully.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No Grant.
This is going to be sad. Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Alabama's probably the pick to win. On my sheet, I'm going to pick Michigan.
Are we seeing Jaden Davis today? Or are we just seeing Davis?
I was obviously I was up in Ann Arbor this past weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys up there don't think we will. But
I don't want to see Davis Warren. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we see him?
But I don't see why not. I don't see why you don't throw him in. I don't see why. I think
there's enough players in there, though. I think.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
It'll be a prize thing. I think Alabama's going to have control of it.
Yeah.
But
we do have.
I think we'll stick.
We do have a backup punter today. Funny enough, it's our. I think it's a tight end of ours. I don't know if it's our starting tight end or a backup tight end, but he's our backup punter today. So that's just showing you how much we don't have. Right now. So. It's going to be an interesting day. I'm going to take plus 16.5 if it's at 16.5.
We started 2024 with playing Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
We're going
to end 2024.
It's a revenge game for them too. Everyone's playing.
Both Alabama and Washington are going to have their, which is why I feel like the matchup happened. I feel like it's
they're making it like that.
Yeah, Washington and Alabama get their revenge, which again. We got the natty. Neither one of them did.
Yeah,
so,
I'm fine. This is
whatever. Beat us today in the ReliaQuest Bowl.
ReliaQuest Bowl.
Right. Yeah. Which was the old Outback Bowl, which is what I'm going to call it. So, we'll see. We're about an hour away from kickoff. So once we're done here with our show, we'll be watching that.
Yeah.
Go Blue.
I am. Oh,
Are you going to pick Alabama?
Yeah,
you're going to?
I am. I am.
He's going for the win, guys.
I'm going for the win here.
He's got a 4-game lead already. In a way, I have to go against the grain to try to catch up. Point, so.
And also, you're up on points. I need to win this at least. Like this, this picking of it. So yeah.
And you know what? It's a 16.5 point line. I'm going to consider it.
Wow. Are you?
We'll see.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a lot to choose from. So
no.
And again, we'll throw out the spreads since we don't have a ton of games to go off of.
Right.
Unless some of the lines, I haven't looked at all the lines yet. Some, if there's enough lines, maybe we do make.
Yeah, we'll go through some of them so far. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to see, I guess. But,
so the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, 2:00 CBS today. Louisville and Washington. I like Louisville. I'm not going to hesitate.
Yeah, I like Louisville here too. I think they're in a good spot. It's Louisville -1 in this game. I think it should be a little higher, to be honest with you, but I like Louisville. I think they're gonna win this game. Yeah.
Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, 3:00 ABC today, New Year's Eve. South Carolina, Illinois. South Carolina is one of the hottest teams in the country. So I'm going to take them.
Yeah, it's SC -9 today. So I'm going now, especially later in this picking. I'm going against Big Ten, which is sad, but I'm going to take South Carolina myself.
Okay.
I'm taking SC too. So next one, Baylor LSU in the Kinder Texas Bowl.
Yep, that's at 3:30 on ESPN. Follows the Alabama Michigan game.
Baylor's.
I don't know a lot about Baylor this year. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't think there's much.
Is LSU sitting a lot, or?
Well, it's actually in Houston, Texas, so it's going to be a game for Baylor to travel to. Okay. I mean, LSU's south too, so it's not like they can't go to Texas. But I feel like Baylor -3.5. I don't know if LSU's really sitting a lot of people necessarily, but
I don't either. But I'm still going to pick them.
You're taking LSU?
I am.
Yeah. I am going to take. I am too. I'm gonna take LSU.
Okay.
Maybe.
Now you just let me not catch up.
No, Baylor. I don't know. No, I'll take Baylor. I'm gonna take Baylor.
You're gonna take
I'm gonna take Baylor.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna go against the grain here. Right. Yeah.
It's one of those somebody knows something.
Yeah.
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 So we're skipping over to playoff games for a moment.
Yeah.
The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl is going to be Thursday night,
Gator
7:30.
Bowl.
Duke and number 14 Ole Miss. I like Ole Miss in this one. I do know Jackson Dart is playing in this game.
He is playing.
I did hear that. So
okay.
I'm going to imagine the line's pretty high. Maybe a touchdown.
Let me. What game is this? Oh yeah.
Gator,
okay.
Gator Bowl.
Duke, Ole Miss minus 17.
Yeah, it's even higher than I thought.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Ole Miss. I don't think Duke has much of a shot here. I don't. Okay. I think Ole Miss is just all around just the better team. Yeah.
The First Responder Bowl Friday at 4:00 ESPN. Yeah. North Texas, Texas State. I don't know really much about either team. Before you even tell me the line, because I just want to pick with my gut, I'm gonna go North Texas.
Okay.
I don't know either.
Texas State minus 13.5.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm rolling with it.
Yeah.
I circled it. Fuck it.
This is in Dallas, Texas, too. I am going to take Texas State. I have no idea. I'm just going to take the spread and just roll with it. But yeah, Texas State. Texas State. Yeah.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl, another fun one.
Yeah.
Get to see Mayo get dumped on a coach. Is it going to be PJ Fleck at Minnesota or whoever the hell's coaching Virginia Tech?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Gophers.
Yeah. That's the play.
Again, it's another gut thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Minnesota minus 7.5 for the line.
Okay.
But I am taking Minnesota here. This game, PJ Fleck, he actually I feel like they actually turned it around the last few games of the year. Feels right? Didn't they? Didn't they win a couple games at the end? I think PJ Fleck wins a bowl game. He keeps his job. I don't think he's ever going to leave that place until he probably retires. But PJ Fleck, yeah, give me the Gophers.
And then the last one, Saturday at 11 a.m., the Bahamas Bowl, Buffalo and Liberty. Well, Liberty was disappointing this year. I had them in the playoff because they thought that they could go undefeated. They ended up having a couple losses. I don't think is it Caden Salter? Is that his name? The quarterback?
Oh, yeah. Yes,
right?
yeah.
He transferred, and I
don't know where.
It's a semi. Was it called? It's not Colorado, is it?
No.
I can't remember where he transferred to. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
we'll take a break.
Yeah.
But so I like Buffalo. Liberty's been disappointing to me this year. Let me know what the line is.
Yeah, Buffalo minus 2.5.
Okay.
I'll take Buffalo. Like you said, Liberty's not been great. You had them to go all the way, didn't you? Or like into the playoffs this year? Didn't you have Liberty?
Well, not the whole way.
No, I mean, but you had them in the playoffs.
I did have them in the playoffs.
That's all the way for them. I mean,
so, yes, you're right. Yes, I did have them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I put I did a parlay at the beginning of the year with is it 7 teams? I picked 7 teams to make the playoffs. I think I only got fucking 3 right. And there are 3 of the big ones. I got Ohio State, Texas, Oregon.
Yeah.
But I tried. I think I did Utah. I thought Utah would win the Big 12. I had Michigan, which was
Michigan. Yeah.
And then Liberty was in there. I feel like I maybe missing one more, but I was right. Caden Salter is going to Colorado.
Colorado, nice. Okay. Yeah. I also wanted to shout out the FCS Championship. That's where my school plays. So Montana State is going up against North Dakota State. Montana State, undefeated season so far, 15-0. They are looking great.
That game's.
That's on
Saturday.
Monday,
right?
January 6th.
Monday.
Yeah.
That's
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monday night. Ferris State did end up winning the D2 National Championship.
Did they?
Over Valdosta, they blew them out, so that kind of burns me a little more. That Slippery Rock was up double digits on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were they could smell it. They could smell
right.
The national championship.
Right.
So, let's go into the playoff picks. First one is tonight, New Year's Eve. Fiesta Bowl, 7:30 ESPN, Penn State and Boise. When we did our broadcast when we went through the playoff bracket, this was the matchup I had. I'm going to stay with Boise. I'm not going to change from it.
You're not changing.
Again, I think it's just, the memories of the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. I think they find something magical.
Yeah.
They win this game.
Boise.
I got no other reason other than that. So
okay, yeah.
I'm just going to take them.
Yeah, I'm taking Penn State here. Like I said before earlier in the show, I think that this defense is just so good. I think this team is slept on. I know they don't win the big games in the regular season, but this is now the playoffs. Momentum, give me it all. Easy schedule for them to go through up until Georgia. So Penn State. I will be taking Penn State. What's the line?
Yeah, what is the line?
Whose line is it anyway? It is PSU minus 11.5.
Give me Boise. That's going to be my underdog of the week.
Wow. Okay, they're covering. Yeah, covering if they win outright. That's a good point day right there.
That's right. I was gonna maybe do Michigan, but I don't want to have to sweat that out.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna ride Boise. I'm picking them to win anyway.
Yeah.
So why not just try to ride that out? I guess I could have considered North Texas, but
yeah.
let's make the stakes high. Ring in the new year, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, 1:00 ESPN.
Oh,
Texas, yeah. Arizona State. I'm going to imagine this is a double-digit line as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to Texas.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
I'm going to let you pick the next one. This would be one I'm going to consider as my favorite.
Oh, okay. But, yeah.
You get first choice since I grabbed the first underdog.
Yeah. So this Texas minus 13. I'm taking Texas here. I don't see them. I don't see them not covering. It probably will be my favorite. I don't really know yet, to be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, next one, 5:00, Oregon, Ohio State. You can take, unless if you want to take that. Did you want to take Texas?
I like it, but
yeah,
you get first choice.
Okay,
so
yeah.
If that's what you want to go, unless you pick your underdog first, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to be considered that I'm stealing points from you.
No,
I got the lead, so I want to hang on.
Yeah.
What's the Ohio State Oregon line? Ohio State is favorite, correct?
Minus 2.5. Yeah, 5:00 ESPN. The Rose Bowl. This is shaping up to be probably the best game of the year.
We almost have to do it, right? I think Ohio State's going to win the game.
I do too, and it hurts me to say it, but yeah, I do too. I'm taking Ohio State.
You're taking Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm taking Ohio State.
All right. I'm down by you by 4 in the pick. So I'm going to circle Oregon on my sheet. Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be my official placed bet. With the little family thing we got going on here. But Ohio State can win the game.
Yeah.
I'm picking Oregon on the sheet.
Yeah, you have to take.
Try to get the point.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I'm on the air saying Ohio State will beat Oregon.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be another good game though. I don't think you're going to see them blow them out like they did Tennessee.
No, I think that this defense is so much better.
Going to be a one-possession game.
Yeah.
Down at the end, I just think they'll figure it out this time.
Yeah.
They'll have a little bit better clock management, whatever it is. Whether it's a game-winning drive or not. I just think they're more equipped to be ready for this game. They are 4-0 all-time against Oregon.
Yeah.
In quote-unquote playoff atmosphere bowl games, what have you.
Yeah, sure.
I think it keeps going. I just think it's just a bad matchup, bad bracket for Oregon as the number 1 seed.
It's too bad. Yeah,
it kind of is. So
it's too bad. I think.
I do think if Oregon gets over if Oregon wins this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then versus whether it's Ohio State versus Texas or Oregon versus Texas, that to me is going to be the national championship, in my opinion.
Ohio State,
just
Texas.
The way the brackets went out.
Yeah,
I think the semifinal coming up on that side of the bracket is going to be your 2 best teams playing each other in the semifinal, which sucks.
I know.
And you can make some argument maybe the 2 best are playing now, but tomorrow, 5:00. But
that's a good point. Yeah.
But Ohio State did have 2 losses, so they deserve to drop
to play
down
in.
to where they were.
Yeah. They got that right for sure. Yeah.
All-State Sugar Bowl, Notre Dame, Georgia.
Yeah.
Again, beginning I picked Georgia. Does it make me a little hesitant that you got a little bit of an unknown with I forget the kid's name now. Stockton.
Yeah.
But I mean, he looked impressive. He's a little bit more of a runner.
Yeah.
Than Beck was. And Beck had some bad games this year. I mean, Georgia Georgia didn't look like
they didn't look
themselves all year anyway.
Right.
So I don't know if it's really necessarily a big drop off. I think back to when Ohio State won the national championship. Was 8-9 years ago now, with Cordell Jones. You didn't know anything about him. He didn't play all year.
Yeah.
He gets thrown in, and I believe it was the Big Ten championship. So similar situation
against Wisconsin. Yeah.
Similar situation. He gets thrown into the conference championship game.
Right.
Actually wins that game after they were trailing,
mm-hmm.
And then so you go from there.
Yeah.
But there was somebody here?
No, there's a black cat out there.
Oh, okay. Obviously, we have people coming over for the Michigan game. I thought, okay, maybe the people are a little early. So
I just thought about how much bad juju. I just saw a black cat, all that other stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
No, we're fine. We're fine. Ohio State's probably gonna win still. So
right.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I'm rolling with Georgia. Trying not to disrespect Notre Dame too much.
Yeah.
My buddy Dante did call me out with picking Indiana because he's a Notre Dame fan.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So he razzed me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I know he's going to listen and probably tune in to see who I'm picking here.
Yeah.
But I'm rolling with Georgia. So stay tuned. If Notre Dame wins this game, then I'm going to like them against Boise if they get Boise. So
you look against Penn State.
I think if Notre Dame wins the Sugar Bowl, that one I don't know. That one I would need more thought on that if it ends up being Notre Dame Penn State.
Yeah.
But we'll see. This is. If Notre Dame gets over this hump, they got a shot to get into the title.
Yeah.
So.
I agree with you. I'm taking Georgia here. Georgia's -1.5. It's to New Orleans. I think they're going to have a good travel, of course, as they usually do. The Bulldogs do travel well. So, taking Georgia. I don't see.
And I did ask Kendall, and she did not want to go on the air today.
Okay.
She went 4-0 in her first round, as did you. Nothing changed for her. Her playoff bracket stays the same. I'm taking the same for you.
Same thing.
You're still rolling with what you rolled with.
Yeah, everything I rolled with so far, I have again for the playoff semifinals to happen for that game.
And so, the only thing, I had Tennessee again, picking with my heart. I had Tennessee. I had Indiana, but I didn't have either one of those teams winning another game anyway. So I'm sticking with my same semifinal national championship picks. With Texas and Georgia.
Cool.
Okay, so I think that's it on the. Oh, we got to pick our favorites and locks. So you get the next pick.
So I am going to take Ole Miss -17.
Okay, you're going Ole Miss.
I will take Ole Miss there. Arizona State kind of they can put it on. I just don't know if they have the firepower to do it against Texas's defense, but that's why I'm kind of wary about it. The 13 there, but I will take Ole Miss -17. Hopefully they can cover there.
I am gonna roll with Texas. I think if it was anything higher, they beat. The Clemson game was scary, but at the end of the day, they won by 14. That's to me like a kind of a magic number there. Give me 2 touchdowns, and I still cover. So. I'll roll with it. I'll take Texas -13.
And what was your underdog again?
Boise.
Okay, I'm gonna take Michigan here. I'm down on points hard. I just want to take my team today. I'm just gonna.
Okay. Yep, that was kind of maybe. I was considering it. So.
Yeah.
Just not bad there.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into the. So by the way, I know we'll jump ahead real quick. The NFL. Our picks from 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
You had the Lions -6.5
against the
Bears. So you did cover that on the road. So you maxed out at 5 points there.
Yeah.
And then you had the Steelers +6.5 against Baltimore.
Yeah.
I had that game on the secondary TV here behind me with no sound as we were watching the playoff game.
Yeah.
And I did pick. I had Baltimore when the game was it tied at the half or Baltimore was up 3?
They were up 3.
3 at the half.
Yeah.
I did pick Baltimore to continue to cover and win.
Yeah.
The second half bet. Just so you know, once in a while.
Yeah.
If you happy for me.
That's good. Yeah. That's good.
And then so we're just gonna go through the picks real quick. I had the Bills -14. They won but did not cover. They didn't look great against New England. They turned it on against the Jets. So
they did.
I don't think their demise is inevitable or anything.
No.
A little sneaky, tough game for them against the Pats. They had that fumble that really sealed the deal for them. Or
yeah.
Look at that. Patriots might have upset.
I can't believe I took it. I thought Patriots had no chance. Whatever.
And then I took the Browns +8.5. That was stupid. They look like shit. They actually opened the game with a nice drive, fumbled on the 1 yard line. I mean, they called it a touchdown. I thought it was a touchdown.
Yeah.
We were watching the Viking game at Westside, so I turned away, and I went back, and the Bengals got first and 10.
First and 10.
I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't realize he had fumbled. I didn't realize they had reviewed it. I wasn't watching it. So, so I did lose that one, so I only got a point from the NFL picks. But total overall, after 7 weeks of picking, I'm up 74-64.
So I'm down 10, but I feel like I'm also out of it almost. Okay. I mean, I'm not, but I can't pick one to save. And some of these lines, like I can't, no excuses, but some of the lines, I just never really.
Yeah.
You were doing it better than me, so yeah.
All right, so we'll take a quick break, and then we'll get into. We're going to talk about our teams. I think. I don't think we're going to get into recapping NFL. We have 2 weeks to do it.
Yeah, because 2 weeks.
Yeah. So we're just going to recap our teams.
Our teams, yeah.
The Steelers and Vikings games, and then that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah,
so
that sounds good.
Break.
All right.
Because we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we're back. We are going to go through just our teams, and then we'll get back on schedule for the next week after that. Especially we're probably going to do a show Saturday.
Yeah.
If that works.
Yeah, I meant to look that up.
That's okay.
Our break. I can pull it up there while you're.
Either way, we'll be on before to preview the NFL for the coming week. This game's on Saturday. The Steelers play Saturday, I think. Yeah,
they do.
8 o'clock.
That's what we're talking about. I'm going to look to see when Randy plays on Saturday. She's got a basketball game on Saturday, which is pretty rare. Oh, it is early. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, 11 a.m. for JV, 12:30. Yeah, we're at lunchtime.
Yeah.
That's whatever. If you want to get back to me on your schedule, I was thinking maybe we do the Browns-Ravens game.
Yeah.
That way, if you don't want to be here for the Steelers game, whatever.
I think there was a Christmas party of some sort that we were doing. It's a schedule thing, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll get it figured out. We'll make sure that it's do it on that day. So, okay, yeah. So we'll get into the Steelers. I guess we'll start there.
We'll start with the Baltimore game first.
Yeah, and then we can talk about the misery of Christmas, I guess. But yeah, so Ravens 34, Steelers 17. I am I'm frustrated. It wasn't just this game. Like I thought, we'll lose this game and then beat the Chiefs. I'll get to the Chiefs.
That's what I had. Yeah, I went the same way.
Yeah,
I really thought matchup wise it was going to be Pittsburgh winning that and Kansas City controlled it. I mean,
I mean, you said it right. Derrick Henry had 24 carries, 162 yards. He didn't score,
but
you
give
him
the ball in the first game. Yeah. What do you have? What do you have in that first matchup? Like 10, 11?
10, yeah.
So see what happens when you give him the ball.
Right. I mean, but our defense has truly fallen off. I have no words. Yes, we clinched, but dude, if we lose to the Bengals, I got nothing.
The Bengals are favored. I couldn't believe that. The game's in Pittsburgh.
Our defense is so bad right now. Yeah. It's so bad.
And Burrow is, I mean, if the Bengals had a better record, and man, if he does get them in, are they still alive? Are they still mathematically alive?
Yeah, so they are. They have the Broncos.
Denver needs to lose to Kansas City, who's probably not playing.
But then the Chargers also have to lose. Or no, is it the Chargers?
I think it's just Denver.
Just Denver. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, Denver has the easiest way to get in. They have to beat the Chiefs, or if they tie, they're in too. So that's the easiest way for Denver to get in. But the Bengals need some stuff to happen. But they are still in it for sure. They need to win, of course. So it's just going to a lot to play for.
I didn't know where Miami played into that too. I don't know if Miami stayed alive with that.
Oh, that might be the other team. That might be the other team because they beat the Browns. So I think that's the other team that they need stuff to happen. I think they need the Bengals to lose, and then they need the Broncos to lose. So it just keeps going. But they have more to play for than we do. We already clinched for the Bengals game, which we'll preview again. We'll do Saturday. But
you have a shot at the division, and you'll know it at kickoff.
Because the Ravens played.
Yeah, the Ravens played the Browns, which I don't think you have much of a shot there.
No.
And Cleveland did beat them earlier in the year, so Baltimore does have a little bit.
I mean, Baltimore deserves a division. They do. They did everything right. They beat the Bengals twice. They're going to beat the Browns twice. They split against us.
No, they did lose to the Browns once.
Oh, they did. That's right. That's right. I can't believe they did. That's right. It was earlier in the year, but they did everything they needed to do to win the division. So we'll see if the Browns can play them tough again. That's the only thing I got for that. But overall frustrated. The offense. I don't know if this play action running and I've been saying it all year. Najee looks better than he ever did. The running game looks better than it ever did. Russell Wilson's throwing the ball. George Pickens was back for Christmas, and it didn't work out. But the Ravens game, we didn't have George Pickens. I thought it was going to be different. Deep threat. I'm just sad. I'm very sad. It's a misery over here. Yeah.
So
I don't know what else to say.
Matchup wise, who do you obviously going to the playoffs?
I should do the playoff prediction thing.
Who do you want as the first round pick? Who do you think? Okay, we match up with this. I think we win this game. Or is there even one? Or do you think?
If we rematch the Broncos, because the year that Tim Tebow beat us, I would feel okay about that.
And you would only get that if you win the division, I believe.
Oh crap! Yeah.
Yeah, you're only gonna get that if you win the division. So,
matter
of fact, I actually saw it on the news. There is only 3 teams that could possibly play.
Okay.
And it was the Texans. So if they get the 5 seed,
yeah,
then you're going to Houston. And I do like that matchup for them. The Chargers, you could end up as the 3 seed. You could end up getting the Chargers as the 6, because the Broncos aren't getting past 7.
Okay.
And then you're not getting to 2. So
okay.
And then the Ravens.
No.
So if you fall, you could fall to 6 and play Baltimore, who's the 3. Or hypothetically, if Baltimore loses, you win. I think Baltimore could go to 6 and go to Pittsburgh. So I think it's Baltimore, the Chargers, or the Texans.
Baltimore, Chargers, or Texans. Okay, yeah. So
I think they'd be Houston.
I think we'd beat Houston. I think we'd beat the Chargers.
Even on the road.
Yeah, we would have to go probably, right?
Yeah,
because they won the division. They won the division.
If you win the division and get the Chargers, I do.
Yeah,
I just don't think you're going to win the division. Because
I don't either.
So yeah. I feel like the 2 matchups it's going to be, because I could see you losing to the Bengals. I could. Cincinnati's fighting for the playoff line.
No, that's what they have more to win. They have more to go for. Yeah.
Like if the game was Sunday night and Denver had won and they know they're not going, different story.
Yeah.
But Saturday night, no matter what happens to the Browns, the Bengals are alive Saturday night.
Yeah.
So they're going to be fighting for their playoff lives. Scary good offense. As you said, your defense isn't playing well.
No.
Their defense isn't great, though. So I think...
Yeah, we can score. We're going to score points. Yeah.
But Pickens is back. I think if... I could easily see you guys lose anyway. And if you do, then you might go down to 6, and now you're going to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Most likely. So that's not good. I think you need to try to take care of business. Even if you don't get in the division.
I will say that...
Get the 5 seed.
Yeah.
And take
the Bengals don't let the... I know they have no outside defense. Don't let them in.
Don't let them in.
That's on us. Like, we can't let them in.
That's what the Bills are thinking. Because the Bills are sitting at number 2. And you think they want to play fucking Joe Burrow in the first round?
No, and that offense is the best offense as of right now in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not. Yeah. Anyone, don't play them. And we are the ones that can leave them out of it.
Yeah.
And so it's going to, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like those matchups. I don't like Baltimore either way. Home, away, don't like it. Hate it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's in Baltimore, we're going to get crushed. So
I don't like the debate, like from a picking standpoint, which I know we'll do on Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't like that the Bengals are favored.
Yeah. It's a Mike Tomlin
game.
Yeah, it is. But you saw that with the Chiefs, though, especially the Chiefs. We played them at home, and which we can get to that game. They're finally finding it too. They did not deserve the 1 seed up until this game, in my opinion. Maybe last week too. They deserved it against the Texans, but they deserve it now. Xavier Worthy's playing great. They have Pacheco, but Pacheco's wherever, and then Kelsey's finally playing well, and Mahomes looked great. So, I can't believe how bad we looked against this team, but I don't have much else to say. But Mahomes, I think, deserves the 1 seed. And
so there are 4 teams in the NFL this year that have not scored 30 points in a game. Okay,
it's
4.
4.
You got the Tennessee Titans. They're 3-13. The New England Patriots. 3-13. The Las Vegas Raiders, 3-13.
I think you're going to tell me the Chiefs.
And the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 15-1. That's unfucking believable.
Yeah.
The 3 bad teams, which that's one reason they're bad, right? They haven't scored 30 points in a game. You're going to lose, right?
Yeah.
And Kansas City hasn't done it. And they're 15-1. I mean, we talk about Mahomes and all, their defense might be the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about it. And what Chris Jones didn't even play.
He didn't even play. And we still lost like that. We still lost like that.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten as many sacks this year.
Kansas City has home field. Like,
yeah.
Are they going back to the Super Bowl?
They're going to go back to the Super Bowl.
You think?
I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to three-peat. But
I'm gonna surprise you.
You have the Bills again because the Bills. Like
I don't.
I don't see them losing to anyone at this point. I think they could beat the Bills because they're going to get revenge, and then it's Josh Allen in the playoffs, and it's just them again.
I'm going to surprise you after I'm done recapping.
Okay. All right.
All right. I'm going to give you my December 31st Super Bowl pick.
Wow.
On December 31st. That's going to change.
Yeah.
Most likely, especially if the seating gets fucked up. But,
yeah. I don't have. I'm just sad. I'm all around sad. We hopefully will beat the Bengals.
So I have some little piece of good news. You have not. Did we or did we not decide we were going to count playoff games for our bet? I think we decided we would count them.
Really?
I think we did.
Are you giving me a chance?
I have a 4 game.
Are you giving me
a chance? I have a 4 game lead right now.
Don't let us win and win out.
Technically, it's a 3 game lead because if we tied, you won the bet.
Yeah.
If we tied and wins, but if you win out, then you can win it, including the playoffs.
But we'd have to go to the Super Bowl.
You have
to even get a chance to win.
If the Steelers get to the Super Bowl and the Vikings don't win no more this year, then you might. I feel that $20 in my pocket already.
Yeah,
or in my Venmo account.
Right. Yeah. Really.
Yeah, I can feel it electronically in my phone.
Oh my god, that just so sad. I can't believe you did. Okay, wait. We need to re-talk about that bet. Okay, well, hold on.
Okay.
Before we get into the Vikings, I just want to, if we have some time, like 5 minutes of this.
Sure.
We were in the car driving to Michigan. Me and you had a bet. We said we've talked about it on the show. We had it Steelers or Vikings. Whoever wins more, $20. No way in the world you saw 13 wins. 14 wins. No way in the world you saw 14 wins.
0. I had it at.
I had us.
I downplayed both of us. Honestly, I had the Steelers. Like I get sick of this Tomlin winning record bullshit. Whatever, and he kept it going.
Yeah,
he hasn't lost.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought, I was thinking 8 for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I was in that range. I'm like,
okay,
they're gonna fucking be 8-9 and get rid of this stupid record. Right?
All right, yeah.
That's where I was hovering.
Yeah.
Or they get to 9 and keep the record going. I feel like that's where you've been.
Yeah.
We've
been 500.
You've lived in that world for 6 years now, right?
Yeah.
And I was standing corrected saying, man, no, the Steelers are good finally. You finally have an offense. Now I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
now I feel like, okay, maybe you are a 500 team. You're not winning any big games.
Yeah.
Now. So I didn't. No, I did. I thought the Vikings would be sneaky good. Everybody was talking. I mean, you look at some of the ESPN shit.
Yeah.
And they're becoming memes now with how good of a season they're having. Where, they had us battling for the number 1 draft pick. Right?
Yeah.
But it was funny because it was like, the ESPN one had us at 4-13 or 5, saying, "Oh, the Vikings are going to have the number 1 pick."
Yeah.
You know what 4 wins right now? What pick you'd be in the draft? Is fucking 10.
It's 10.
Because there's that many bad teams this year too.
Yeah.
Which is like a correlation here.
Yeah.
Now that the Lions won last night, we have a guarantee that there will be a 14-win wild card team.
There could be. Yeah.
And that. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the pessimist in me, that screams Minnesota Vikings right there.
Yeah.
Of course. We would be the first fucking team to win 14 games and go on a goddamn road.
Yeah.
And for probably the whole playoffs, unless there was more upsets where the 6 and 7 seed win.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be till the NFC Championship. That would be our only potential home game. Which could happen. Green Bay's good.
They are
Green Bay has 5 losses.
Yeah.
And 4 of them are to 2 fucking teams. They got swept by Detroit, Minnesota.
That division,
who are both 14-2.
Yeah.
And then he lost to the Eagles, who people are saying could be the best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
So all 5 of their losses are to 3 teams who are the 3 best teams in the NFC, and probably 3 teams that are in the top 5 in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
So Green Bay is not bad.
No, they're not at all.
And right now they're the 7th seed because I think they lose the tiebreaker or something to the Commanders maybe.
Yeah, Commanders. The NFC is loaded.
It is
loaded.
So I'd have to double check that, but I think that they easily could go into Philly and win a game.
Yeah.
Or LA if they're the 16th. So 100% that the Packers could make a run, and if the Vikings do get the number 1 seed, I want that. I want Green Bay to go play Detroit.
Oh God!
Let them beat each other up.
Who would you play right now if you were 1 seed?
Well, they get the bye, and then you get it reads seeds, so you get the whatever the low seed left is.
Oh yeah.
So, and I'm going to talk about that.
Okay.
Here in a minute after I talk about the Vikings, when we kind of.
But okay, so we can go into recap. But how many wins do you think you saw coming into this year?
10. 11. Somewhere in there, 10 to 11. And because I really did think, all these, and hey, there were other Viking fans that, I watched the games with. We have a little messenger chat that we all go back and forth. Isaiah was out there 3 wins is what he had. 3, 5, 6. Like that's where some of the, we always do it every year, throw out the number, right? And there were way more losing records than winning records. There was a couple of us that were optimists. Yeah. I do believe in O'Connell. Mm-hmm. I would die for him right now. Like he is. I always talk about who's my favorite coach of all my teams, and for years it was Beeline, and then it was Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool.
Oh man, yeah.
He's my favorite fucking coach right now.
Yeah.
Right now, Kevin O'Connell.
What a guy.
Set franchise record now for most wins in his first 3 years.
Yeah.
He's a quarterback whisperer, obviously. Yeah. Which is what I'm excited about with JJ. I mean, like I said, this is the first time that. Every year the Vikings are good. I always feel like, we have this. This is it. This is the window. Yeah. Right. We have some aging quarterback that we're putting all his eggs in one basket. Our salary cap situation's a mess. Yeah. So it's like we got to win right now, and when we don't, I'm disappointed. This is the first year. I'm gonna listen. 14-2. I'm gonna end up being disappointed if and when we lose the playoffs. It's inevitable. But this is the first time that I'm gonna be like, you know what this feels like? Here, I'll give you a scenario that this will make sense to you. Yeah. We are 2021 Michigan. Wow. Okay? Yeah. And you know what that means. We're going to playoffs. I think we could be in the Final Four.
It can't be Georgia.
We may not do it. We may not do it this year. But, we got JJ waiting in the wings. Mm-hmm. We have the 4th highest salary cap money available. Yeah. We're going to be good for a while. So, I think this is the start of something.
The start of something.
And who knows? Maybe if they win it all this year, good luck. We're gonna be good for a while. Man. So this is the first year that I'm. Not only do we have a good team, I'm also optimistic about the future. For sure. Usually when we have a good team, 98 we had Cunningham, old quarterback. Mm-hmm. 09 Favre. It was like you knew this is it. You got to win it this year. Got to win it. Don't. It's gonna progressively get worse. And it did both those years, and it did in 17. So this is the first year that I'm like, okay, I'm not going to panic if we don't win it all. It's hard. It's hard to win. Right. So I'm not going to panic if we don't, because I think we're set up for the future. Okay. We were supposed to be a rebuild this year, and we're 14 fucking wins. Yeah. It's crazy. So never would have thought it was going to be this high, but I just keep getting more and more impressed. Mm-hmm. I think our defense is sick. It is. That might be the only scary thing is. Maybe there's some pressure to win it this year because does Flores get another job next year? And he might. Yeah, he might. He's going to get it. Ben Johnson's going to get one before he does. Maybe Aaron Glenn does. I don't know. But I think there's other coordinators that are going to be rated ahead of him. But we'll see what happens. But
it'll be interesting to see the way the defense will change then. Whatever they want to run or do.
But we're an absolute wagon. I'm excited.
All the right pieces are everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. Seattle, you knew that was going to be. We're always historically bad there. I know Seattle's fading a little bit, but Walker played. Smith's knee looked fine in that game. Yeah. There was some interesting calls that went against us in that one. Seattle trying to fake punt.
Was that the touchdown game when you guys were celebrating and you got a flag for that?
Yeah.
Was that what the touchdown?
Got a flag for doing a green. Now, they were saying that he was looking at the Seattle defender. And he was kind of close to him, or I don't know how. And then they flagged us for the celebration dance after the pick at the end of the game, which every fucking team does. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. And then Seattle had a fake punt in the game where they went for it on 4th and 2.
Oh yeah.
He didn't make it. On a they were showing replay, he was a yard short. And they just snapped it. credit to Seattle, they snapped the ball pretty quick. And,
yeah.
I mean, O'Connell should have challenged it. But I think they end up not scoring on that drive. But it was just like there was some interesting calls that happened in that game that I felt like they were kind of fighting the refs a little bit. But, and in the Green Bay game, similar to the first game, like they jumped out to this nice lead, 17, 20-point lead. They came back in on a turnover. So Green Bay started coming back. I started getting nervous. I ended up winning a parlay. I had a 4-leg parlay with that. Vikings minus 1.5, over 49, Addison scoring, Darnold over 275.
Damn.
And when Addison scored, my cash out was like $90.
Yeah.
And it was like, what was it, 27-10, and I was a little worried. I'm like, okay, if Green Bay doesn't score here, I feel like it's going to go under. And they didn't. They went 3 and out. I went on DraftKings. Cash out was 90. I hit confirm, or I hit cash out.
Yeah.
And then the confirm button came up. I hit confirm, and then as soon as I did that, the odds changed and went down to $64.
Oh.
I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna ride it.
Yeah.
And then we end up going over.
Yeah.
So
so
fuck you, DraftKings. You could have saved yourself $120.
DraftKings
you had to pay me out
$180.
Yeah. So I won $180 on that. I'm up to like over $600 on that, all on free betting.
Wow.
I've never put a dime into that account.
That's awesome.
And I don't do anything more than $5-10 bets.
Right.
So
right.
So I'm a little proud of myself. I've had it up close to $1,000 at one point.
Yeah.
I've come back down to 300.
And then I'm 6.
So, so I've fluctuated there a little bit.
Yeah.
I got to get some playoff action going. Dude, we're good. Like, we're good. I hate that I'm getting excited.
Yeah. You guys are good.
I think we're going to beat the Lions. I think we're going to get the 1 seed. And I don't know if I'm trying to will that, because I think, they were talking on the broadcast last night. The thing that scares me is what 2 teams have they talked about all year in the NFL?
The Chiefs.
Chiefs and Lions.
And Lions.
All fucking year.
Yeah.
So I feel like, bang bang calls are not going to go our way.
Yeah.
I just don't feel that, especially being in Detroit.
Yeah.
They have almost tried to will the fact that they're the best team in the NFC into existence all year. So I like the quietness of the Vikings. Like, now we're being talked about.
Now we're being talked about.
Now we're being talked
about.
Detroit's defense looked like trash last night. I think we can score points on them.
Yeah.
I also feel like we're going to give up points. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game for sure.
Yeah.
But on the broadcast last night, yes, the Lions are banged up. They're more banged up than the Vikings, 100%. And if they want to use that as an excuse, go ahead.
Yeah.
But they were saying, they need a break. Okay, they haven't had a bye week since week 5. They need the number 1 seed. Well, let me tell you something. That fucking game last night meant nothing to them. And they fucking played anybody. They played everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear the fucking, they could have had a break last night.
Yeah.
I would have loved the Vikings to be in that situation where win or lose, this game doesn't matter.
Right.
Maybe they play a half. You give these guys a break a little bit because you shit they win the game.
Yeah.
Right? Play the long game. You got a big game coming up this week. So I was hoping that they would get more banged up last night.
Yeah.
Like, good. You want to play everybody? Okay. So, to justify that they need the number 1 seed because they need a break, well, they going to have one last night.
Sure.
And so you had a leg up on your competition there, and they didn't take advantage of it. So, I don't feel bad about that.
Yeah.
But from a standpoint of matchups, how the teams are built, I think the Vikings need the number 1 seed more than the Lions.
Yeah.
So I don't think either team, whoever goes to the 5 seed, is probably screwed. Probably.
Yeah. And so I had a question too. The Eagles are out of the number 1 seed?
They are. Yeah. This game Sunday night.
And that's the division.
Is it?
How did they get out of it? Do you know how they got out of it?
It's some kind of conference tiebreaker thing.
Oh, okay. How
so even if the Eagles win,
okay,
they're locked in at number 2.
At 2. All right.
Which makes me wonder, who do they play?
I know.
They're playing Dallas. I believe the Lions really well on that. Well, I think Philly might still be favored, but ain't very much. But so I think they're anticipating. Obviously, Hurts coming off a concussion, but he's gonna be rusty. I mean, by the time he ends up playing, which will be the first weekend, and boy, if Green Bay slides to the 7, or even if they don't, I mean, the Eagles are looking at either the Commanders or the Packers. So you're either going to get Green Bay, who's going to have a revenge factor, and you got the Commanders, who's your division rival. So,
you don't want the Commanders if you're the Eagles.
Yep. So the silver lining, for Sunday night coming up,
Yeah, for that.
If we get to the 5, okay, you're most likely going to either get the NFC South winner, which I think is going to be Tampa. I think Tampa's going to take care of business and win the game.
Me too. Yeah.
And then you got the Rams. If the Rams lose, I believe they fall to 4. If they win, they stay at 3.
Okay.
I kind of would rather play the Rams. I want a little bit of a revenge there of losing.
Losing Thursday
last
night.
loss.
Yeah.
Our first broadcast was the Vikings' last loss.
That sucks.
That's
Don't
a
broadcast
long time
again.
ago.
We should broadcast on Sunday at Westside.
Oh. So how about the Vikings did not lose a game in August, did not lose a game in September, did not lose a game in November, and did not lose a game in December this year.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. 2 losses in a 5-day span. That's it. By a grand total of 10 points. And I still wish they would have called that face mask on Darnold.
Yeah.
We had 2 minutes to go, 80 yards. Who knows what happens?
Who knows?
Maybe they come back winning it. So I wouldn't mind getting the Rams. I'm a little. If there's a matchup I'm scared of, is Tampa.
Yeah, they can score.
Baker, they can score.
They can score.
And again, it's bullshit that they could hypothetically be 5 games better. 5 and be on the road. That is unbelievable. There needs to be number one. There needs to be a reseeding.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do that, if you're going to reward division winners, fine. But there should be some kind of limit. Like if you're 2 games worse than the team that's the wild card, you lose home field.
Yeah.
Like why can't you just do that?
I know.
That's the shame of it. And then you're guaranteeing you're going to be on the road the second week.
Yeah.
Even if you win. So if you're the lowest remaining seed, the Vikings lose, they're going to go play Detroit, and vice versa. If the Lions lose, they might get the Vikings, which I don't want. I don't want to see the fucking. If Minnesota wins Sunday night, I don't want to see the fucking Lions again. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like that will scare the shit out of me to play the Lions.
You can't play them a third time.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
If we lose, I feel differently. I'm like, fuck it. I want a third shot. Try to beat us the third time.
Right.
And if you do, great.
Right.
So I would almost, that's where I'll live. If we lose, okay, give me another shot at it.
Yeah.
If we win, then we get the number 1 seed. I don't want to see them. On the same token, I'm going to be scared as shit if Green Bay goes on the road and win, because then we're going to play. We might play Green Bay. I want Washington. No disrespect to them.
Yeah.
That's
a good game to play off. Yeah. It's a good game.
I would take.
So is
Rams,
that
Bucks, Falcons, whoever, everyone's that division.
So right now you're slated for 1 seed. You would just have to wait and see who you're slated to play, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So then if
the lowest remaining seed.
If you lose though, and you're the 5th seed, do you know who you would probably? Yeah. 5 plays who? 4? 4. Okay. Yeah. So it could be the Rams or like you said. All right.
Yeah, it's either going to be the Rams or the NFC South winner.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Which I like that matchup actually.
I do too.
Either way. Yeah.
I do too.
You said
Tampa's the only one that scares me. I think we could beat Atlanta again, which we would have to play them a second time.
But Penix, man, he looks I'm
not scared of him.
No, he's more accurate. He's
more accurate.
He looked pretty good. Yeah.
We put pressure on him, and look what happened when Michigan put pressure on him in the national championship.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I think the Vikings would get good enough pressure on him. The running game's coming along. That's what was scaring me a couple weeks ago. Same with the run defense. Mm-hmm. But everything's clicking, man. It's Darnold. Everybody, I think the media, everybody's waiting for Darnold to just be Darnold.
Yeah,
we're gonna be waiting a while because I think he still made he threw a pick that kind of like Green Bay back in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that comes with the territory, especially when you throw the ball. I mean, they're throwing the ball 40, 45 times a game. He's gonna throw picks.
Yeah,
this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, I'll take it. With the receivers he's got, he's taking chances. I like it.
Right.
You got to gamble and live and die with that. Which that's what makes Detroit interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
The team fucking refuses to punt or kick field goals.
I know.
And he's going to live and die with it.
Yeah.
And
he's going to win or
most of the fan base is okay with that.
Yeah.
I watched that Vikings-Packers game at B-Dubs in Ann Arbor.
Oh yeah.
So very, very heavy Packer contingent in there, rooting for the Packers. There's a Lion contingent, obviously.
Yeah.
But there was one Viking fan there.
Oh, nice.
All decked out and shit. So we kind of were across the bar from each other, screaming in there, like just me and him. So, and people were letting us have it when Green Bay was starting to come back in.
Yeah.
And then wait till next week, blah blah blah. Yeah. And then Jacobs had a nice run. Where he was carrying defenders with him all the way to the goal line.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you better tackle better than that next week. And I'm like, you think fucking Jamar Gibbs is going to carry 3 guys into the end zone?
Yeah, no.
He ain't got Montgomery right now.
No.
So now there is rumors that he could be ready to go. The timetable was indefinite. So if Montgomery gets back,
it'll only be out 2 weeks. Yeah,
but I don't know if anybody's coming back on defense anytime soon for them. That's down right now. So, and like I said, Purdy was going up and down the field on him yesterday. So I'm excited about that. I think Detroit. We're trending up. They're trending down a little bit right now. Yes, the game's at home. But it was a good game the first time they played.
It was.
So,
it was.
The same things are going to be the deciding factor: turnovers, penalties, all that. If it's a clean game on both sides, I think Minnesota's playing better right now. I think they win the game.
Yeah, and that's who I'm taking. I think I'm rooting that way for you at this point. The bet's over. Congratulations.
Are you conceding, or you want to?
No, I'll watch it. I'll watch it out. I mean, if you're gonna let me go into the playoffs, I'll watch it.
I think if we win and you lose, I think I do clinch it. Even if the Steelers can win the Super Bowl, and I still end up with
we can't lose this week. Yeah, we can't.
Yeah.
So what I need,
we win, I clinch it.
What I would need is for you to lose this week, lose next week, or lose the playoffs, and then me to win.
You gotta win a couple games.
But I don't think it's. No, I wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, our teams are trending in different directions.
How exciting! Sunday night will be great. I'm thinking about going and watching.
West Side Bowl.
I'm thinking about coming and watching with you. Yeah, I think I should. Yeah.
Don't be an asshole. Our fan base, our fan club. Is very good. We don't. Nobody's getting in your face there. My cousin Joey's planning on coming. He's actually a Lions fan now.
Oh,
very, very recent.
Oh,
he was a longtime.
He didn't go through the 0-16s and the.
No, he's a longtime Browns fan.
Okay,
just got tired of their management.
Well, actually, I kind of give him that fan base to go to.
Yes. That's relatively local.
Yeah.
Another team that had never been to a Super Bowl.
Right.
So that correlation was good. It just so happens his timing is. The Lions are good.
Right.
So I tease him a little bit about that, but so he plans on coming. I think he's not somebody I'm worried about. So I'll tell you right now, anybody out there listening, if you think I would be worried about you, then don't fuck me. That answers your own question. If you're hesitant because you're like, you can't not be an asshole, then just stay home and watch the game.
Just text me. Home.
Yeah, you just text me. Yeah. Any shit that you want to give me, that's fine.
I do have a future on the Lions, but I'm not gonna let that affect me. I'm gonna sit there and watch two great teams go at it for the 1 seed. Like, this is Sunday Night Football. They flexed it. This is the game. This is gonna be an awesome game. Yeah. So it'd be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I want it, but I know it's also not the end all be all.
It isn't.
It's not.
Yeah.
It sets us up nicely. Vikings haven't had the number 1 seed since '98. It's like I feel like they've been reliving that. Like, man, they blew that. They blew that chance. They had Atlanta at home.
Yeah.
Which again, Atlanta was 14-2 that year. So I mean, they were sneaky good that nobody talked about because we were the team that talked about. That's where I feel good about. I feel like this year the roles are reversed.
Yeah.
We're the 14-2 team that nobody's talking about until recently.
It's
Detroit, it's Philly. That's what everybody's talking about. So that omen makes me feel good, and all of a sudden we might sneak in and get the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Which will really throw things off. And that crowd was absolutely bonkers on Sunday. So and I told you a couple weeks ago how unimpressed I was. With our crowd. It was quiet, the Arizona game. It was an Atlanta game, we're very lethargic, going not the Arizona game, very lethargic fan base, and I was pissed, because we didn't play well coming out of the gate of that. So the energy they brought on Sunday, bring that shit.
Bring that.
If we do get home,
I just gotta say,
got to bring that.
I gotta say, when they panned the camera to School Viking up to the drums, and then they blew the horn, and I saw the sea of Vikings fans, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That is it.
It's something to see in person.
Yeah.
You gotta make it on a bucket list.
Dude, that was
beautiful stadium anyway.
They brought it though, man. That was awesome to see for that game. And very, very cool. Yeah.
And
bring it though.
You gotta watch some of O'Connell's post game. I mean, he's just somebody that you're like, God, I want to suit up and play for this guy.
Run through a wall for him. Yeah.
He says all right a lot, almost like every sentence. That drives you nuts after a 4 or 5 minute video. But he definitely he's got this team believing, got them bought in.
Yeah.
And again, the future looks extremely bright. So try to remind me of that when my heart gets broken here sometime in January.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's probably
you have a great
happen,
future, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But they're truly each week talking 1-0. They're just taking it 1 week at a time. I love it. And again, it's giving me 21-22 Michigan vibes.
Yeah.
Really, it truly is. So I'm hoping that maybe we moved up that timeline. They win it this year. They got it, especially to get the number 1 seed. You get the number 1 seed, man. I'm really gonna start to believe they can fucking do this.
Yeah.
If they don't, I think the uphill battle might be a lot to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can win a game, maybe 2. We'll see what the matchups end up being, but.
Man, with home field advantage, if you got, it's going to be.
Yeah, let's just take it 1 week at a time. We'll talk more about it Saturday. Any other final thoughts before we get ready for our Michigan game?
Yeah, let's get a 15 minutes till kick. It's going to be interesting for that, but what an NFL year. Go Vikings Sunday. I'm going to take them. We'll talk about it Saturday, but I'll take them. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Good show. All right, man. Good. All right, love you guys.